When I was young, I used to love it when my parents would bring home the most recent copy of Reader's Digest. I would read it from cover to cover. And my most favorite part of it was their joke column called Laughter the Best Medicine. I thought it was perfect that it would usually be found towards the end of the magazine. It's like after all of the serious articles about current events, human tragedies, survival stories, or relationship issues, it was great that they wanted you to finish the magazine with a chuckle or two. While it is important to know all the serious things about everyday life, all that pain, that darkness, that hopelessness, all of it can usually be made better, or at least eased, by a little bit of laughter. And I do believe that's exactly how we're meant to live life, rich in experience and never lacking in humor. It's always good to be reminded that sometimes you're just okay. And that's okay. Hello, and welcome to You're Just Okay, and That's Okay, the podcast that talks to regular people about regular things, and somewhere along the way, finding all sorts of extraordinary moments in the befores and afters and in betweens of everyday life. My name is Chris Flojo, and I am so excited to finally be back and ready to rumble. And I hope that you guys are enjoying 2021 so far. Given the kind of year we had last year, I figured we should start 2021 on a really loud and funny note, which is why Trency Caga-anan is my first guest of this year. I started out wanting to talk to her about what it's like to be the designated funny girl. She always makes me laugh whenever I bump into her or we spend any amount of time with each other. She's always making me laugh. And she's that person in your group that you can always trust to lighten up the mood or inject some much needed humor during a down day. At the end of our conversation, though, I once again walked away with so much more. After the break, let's meet our resident funny girl.
All right, hello. I'm Trency Caga-anan, and I'm Chris's friend from college. I think how did we meet? I forget.
TA.
TA. Ay, oo nga, 3PO.
It was
Oo nga.
3PO.
The wild times of 3PO.
Oh
Wild times?
my.
Yes.
TA stands for Tanghalang Ateneo, a theater group in Ateneo de Manila University where Trency and I met. If you've ever spent any extended amount of time with theater people, you know for a fact just how crazy they can get. And that is why I have had to cut out a lot from this podcast interview. The
Yeah,
things we
so
should probably,
forget.
or
But it was such a
censor.
fun play though. Or
It
censor,
was.
true. Ayun. And then, aside from doing theater, although it's been a while since I've done it, it's still in my heart though. I also do interior design, so that's my official title, an interior designer. And a cat mom, without a cat dad.
Do you ever experience being in a room and then you end up becoming kind of like the entertainment and then people kind of expect you to say the funny stuff. Tapos after a while, parang pagod na ako.
Oo.
Kayo naman mag-enjoy. Does it ever happen to
Oo.
you?
It takes a while for me to get tired of entertaining people.
Really?
I guess, when it comes to... Oo, na-enjoy ko naman. Especially syempre kung may bato naman sila sa akin, pero ngayon nag-entertain na ako, nagpapatawa, tapos wala naman tumatawa. May sarili-sarili silang mundo, syempre nakakawalang gana naman. Pero for the most part, if it's reciprocated, okay lang naman.
Have you always felt like the funny girl? Like, or have you always been that growing up, even when you were younger? You know how there's always like one funniest person in the group. Has it always been you?
Parang I remember in high school, not so much. Parang I feel like I have a very small friend group and I feel like we're generally the same humor and vibe. So, wala namang nagsa-stand out. But I think it was in college talaga that it really parang showed. And I think it's a lot to do then with my theater group because we have this like I think doon nag-grow yung humor ko and yung pagiging parang, alam mo yun, quote-unquote entertainer in a friend group, alam mo yun, na parang like, I can actually, push the boundaries as we talked about earlier. And then I brought that to my other friend groups and my block, ganun. So parang, I guess dun lang talaga ako nag-bloom as, a quote-unquote, a funny person.
Did you ever feel like it was, how women are not expected to be funny? You know how there's always that joke that women aren't supposed to be funny. You're just supposed to sit there, be pretty, be whatever, be someone you adore. But has it ever been detrimental in any way?
I think kasi when you're funny, and I can be not just funny, but I can be like kengkoy. Yun yung funny ko medyo slapstick, ganun type. Medyo may ganun akong tendencies. And I think people don't take you as seriously if you're like that. I mean, in my head, I'm not really sure if it's like a gender thing. I mean, of course it is. Pero parang end of the day, parang I learned na lang to kind of temper it. Kunyari, like, depende sa situation. Kasi minsan kasi nadadala ko yung pagiging like kengkoy ko sa mga serious stuff. Like, I try to inject it. Kasi parang, ay, masyado na serious. Kailangan ko mag-inject ng, something
Right.
cute or whatever. Pero parang, I realize na it doesn't have to be that way. Parang hindi naman kailangan. Dead air doesn't mean it's like bad air. Dead air doesn't mean it's bad air. Ano ba yung klaseng analogy yan? Pero, yun yung na-realize ko. Yun lang naman na parang sometimes you're not taken seriously. So, you just have to learn to balance it. And as a woman trying to date, for example. Kasi I mean, I guess that's where the gender dynamics all, pop out and stuff. Parang, ako for me, it's my weapon. My weapon!
I love it.
Humor! Sasaksakin ka na ng jokes ko! Love me!
Does it work? Does it,
yeah, for me, it yuck. Yeah. Yeah, and parang I think I don't see it na rin kasi as it's part of who I am. And like, if I show it early on, hindi na ako nagpapakapabebe. Alam mo yun, parang like, I meet someone then who understands it, alam mo yun, and gets it. Yun. So, kumbaga parang ano na lang siya, filter.
Right.
Oo, naging filter na siya for me. And I don't, if you don't like it, then you're not my jams. We're not jamming. So,
does it attract a specific kind of guy? Does it, like a humorous woman, a woman who's not afraid to laugh out loud and tell and be the funny one in the relationship? Does that attract a certain kind of guy?
Based on my experience naman, parang like, mostly I get along talaga with guys who with the same humor as me. So parang yung medyo din, kalog-kalog din, gano'n. And I am attracted to that as well. So that's, where the connection really happens. If they parang embolden me to like, sige, go, mag-joke ka pa. Na-enjoy naman nila yung mga ginagawa kong parang antics talaga yung ginagawa ko, nagja-juggling ako. Habang nagde-date, na-imagine mo. Sa restaurant ka, tapos binabato ko yung mga bote.
Check this out.
Like, fired.
Magician ka ba, girl?
Oh, circus clown. Pero sa totoo talaga, as in, hindi naman ako lapitin ng boys. So, and alam mo yun, I'm okay with that. So, ayun, ano bang point ko? Nawala ako.
Quality over quantity kasi dapat din naman.
Oo, quality over quantity. So, alam mo yun. So, if you're a funny girl, don't worry about it. It's okay. Use it as your weapon. That's your unique trait. Diba? Na parang, for me kasi humor, I mean, is the embodiment of your so many experiences. Kaya ang saya nga pag nagjo-joke ka, parang like lumalabas lahat ng mga binabasa mo, yung natitake in mo na information, alam mo, it says so much about you. And beyond like, for example, the physicality of who you are as a person, that says so much more. Like, konting pa-joke mo lang mga 5 minutes. Alam na nila na parang, Okay pa, hindi pa to sa pop culture kasi yung references niya puro BTS.
Well,
Oo.
have you ever experienced any? Have you ever matched with anyone on Tinder that was kind of like put off by
By my
your
humor.
humor?
Meron. Parang like, not really necessarily put off. Like, he didn't specifically say naman na parang, pero parang I got, as in yung parang crickets yung dating. Parang like, okay,
Oh, no.
alam mo yun. Pero okay, I mean, parang wala akong magagawa dyan. Okay na lang.
Right.
At least like, I know na we're not jive.
In a real life setting, what kind of person is able to make any situation funny?
Parang, I think the key is to, like, know the language. I mean, you get to feel the group. I mean, you have to be super empathic. Empathetic pala. Kasi you have to understand kung ano yung makakakiliti sa kanya, I guess. Kasi I mean, I have different friend groups with different personalities. And parang, you know, I can't say something with this group. Something I say with this group only works with them. And then
Right.
something I say with another group only works with them. At hindi kayong pwedeng ipaghalo. Or iba yung delivery. Parang
Right.
ganun. Yung pinag-aaralan ko pala yung mga jokes ko. Hindi ko alam.
No, but it's true. There's a certain
Yeah.
there's a certain self-awareness, I guess, that comes with it.
Yes, I think that's a word, self-awareness. And yeah, or just being able to, alam mo yun, understand what they want. Not necessarily about, it's about them, not you.
Right,
Parang
right.
ganyan nangyayari. Na parang like you might have a funny joke, but if you know or you feel that it's not gonna, they're not gonna receive it well, then alam mo yun, just use it for another set of people, I guess.
So it's like you have that sixth sense, no? That
Oo.
That's true because I guess the same goes with theater. You have to be able to read your audience and siguro
Yes,
din
exactly.
yun.
Oo. Yeah. And yeah, it works. And it not just with like friend groups or anything, but like with also work and stuff. Na parang like you know when to, switch on the pro mode, and then when you get to feel okay, so I guess it's time to like kind of lighten up the conversation. That's when you switch on the comedy central mode.
And like you said, you have to be somebody who has life experience or someone who's read stuff and gone stuff and done things. Kasi kung wala ka naman palang
Exactly.
ma-share.
Correct. Oo. Totoo yan, actually. So parang it's also good na parang you have an arsenal of, at least basic knowledge. Basic knowledge. Hindi mo kailangang in-depth. Kunyari, like, meron kang little knowledge about
Just enough
math.
to be able to
What?
learn.
Plus 1? 11!
The worst Trency. I think I have to cancel this interview now because that's the worst joke. 11.
Sorry naman. Obviously, hindi ako math major.
We did theater for a reason, okay? Because,
Correct.
paano ka bigla napunta sa interior design?
Ano siya, parang I was in a bit of a fork in the road situation. So parang like I didn't know if I wanted to pursue theater pa or do something else. I feel like I was feeling too much of the things that I've been doing, and I think it was seeping into my personal life. Na parang feeling ko nadi-depress na ako, nalulungkot na ako in a different way na. And then sabi, baka naman masyado ka nagme-method. Grabe na yung pag-method acting ko. Pang award. Ayun. But yun nga, parang okay, so I think, okay, this is a sign na I have to like figure something out.
Right.
And I remember my mom, meron siyang mga interior design books kasi we renovated their house before. And then I remember getting those, buying sa book sale, yung mga second hand na kasi mura, di ba? Mahal-mahal kasi yung mga interior design magazines. And then, gumagawa ko ng mga floor plan, ganun. And I remember it giving me so much joy. So parang like, maybe I should, go into this. And nag-enroll ako sa PSID, Philippine School of Interior Design. And, now I'm here.
And it's been great. No turning back.
Oo, no turning back na. Ito na yun. Ito na yun.
What's your style like? What does the trend say? I mean, I've seen your stuff because I follow you and you're on Instagram. Can you plug that a little bit?
Hi. So,
Hi ulit.
Hi ulit. Yeah, you can follow me at Studio Loom. I'm on Instagram. Ayun lang. But I think it's influenced a lot by my theater experience.
Really?
But this is my style,
Yeah, right, right,
not
right.
my client style. Like, of course, like as an interior designer, you, especially when I'm doing homes and stuff, parang you try to, get their style as much as you can and injecting some of yours. Pero yours shouldn't be the one like popping up.
Right.
But if it were my house, parang it will be like super. Ako kasi parang I like a little bit of drama. Alam mo yun? Parang very interesting pieces. Kanya kung meron ako magkaka-closet ako dyan na zigzag, go! Gusto ko ng closet na zigzag kahit na medyo impractical.
Paano
Pero alam mo
yun? Paano ka
Yeah, yun. Kung pwede nga lang pati yung amoy makontrol ko, okay.
Anong magiging amoy?
Ayoko magsalita. Baka may mali ako masabi. Amoy musk. Musk.
Nakakatakot. Pheromones.
Pheromones.
The Trency musk is your signature.
Yes. Oh, the trunks.
Do you find yourself an emotional person? Are you an emotional person?
I feel so. Deeply? I feel deeply. Like, especially this year. I think this year has made me like very like much more open. I mean, you're staying at home, like everything around you is just crazy and all that stuff. So, alam mo yun, parang like you have to really face those emotions completely. And, this year has been that for me. But I guess dahil I'm the person that I am, na parang I see life with like joy and, humor. I don't wallow in it too much. Parang like the positive side of me always comes out. That there's always like, a joke in it. Can you hear my other cat?
Was it a cat?
Yeah, nagmameow siya. So the cat are walling.
Aww. Is it the one who's in heat?
Yes, the one who's in heat. Mm-mm.
Naghahanap na naman ng lalaki.
Naghahanap na naman ng lalaki. Aga-aga pa, girl. Lunchtime na daw kasi sabi niya, saan yung mga boys? Bring with my, ito na yung milkshake ko.
Come to my yard,
Come
please.
to my yard. Ayun. So yun. So I guess, and actually now that we're talking about, siya na ba process, na parang I think my humor and my viewpoint in life na parang like joy and stuff has really helped me throughout this pandemic din. Na at the end of the day, there's, something to laugh about.
Do you ever, when you find yourself in that place of like feeling everything, what makes you feel better? Like what gets you out of that funk? Is there, how sometimes being the person who's always positive, it becomes your function in other people's lives also to be the one to kind of help people out. Is there someone who does that for you? What kind of person does that for you? Or is it something that you do to, pull yourself out? What functions as that in your life?
I'm a very physical person. Like I like expressing myself through actions and stuff. So when I'm in a funk, actually I just let the funk sink in and then I just dance it out in the most kenkoy way possible. Oo, pero kailangan mo siya ilabas. Wala ka na magagawa. I just have to release it into the wild, set it free, wave goodbye.
Do you literally dance it up? Like you lock yourself in a room and turn up the music and dance?
Or usually habang naliligo. So in my full nakedness.
I love it. Girl, same. When I'm in the shower though, for some reason, my dance moves are always pa-sexy. As in, but I can't help it. But when it's wet, the water is wet, parang for some reason yung lumalabas na dance moves, girl, yung talagang tipong hindi papayag yung asawa ko sa public ganyan.
Papasok na lang daw siya, private show. Ako naman parang like in the shower, I'm like the best pop-in locker in the world. Nagka-crumping ako. Crumping helps, actually. It's a very aggressive dance move. Ingat ka lang, baka madulas ka. Ang hirap sumigaw ng saklolo galing sa banyo namin.
Tsaka nakakahiya kung tutulong sa'yo, diba?
Oo, hubot-hubad doon. Ang layo pa ng tuwalya.
You have to explain yourself.
Paano ka nahulog? I was crumping.
I was crumping my emotions away. Yeah, this goes on for a while because Trency and I were finding different ways to crump while crying. Anyway, on to more serious topics. Do you think it will always be beneficial being able to laugh?
Yeah. Of course. Being able to laugh at yourself also parang helps you understand your situation more and also look at the bright side. I mean, you should always look at the bright side pa din naman at the end of the day. And if that will help you move forward, then, go with it. Always in
Yeah.
truth. Always in truth. Yun lang. Parang I feel like don't use laughter naman din to suppress, bad feelings or sadness or something. You don't always have to be a positive person. But if your humor can get you out of that rut, truthfully and honestly and authentically, then use it. And use people who make you laugh too to get you out of certain situations. It's also good. It's all about bonding. Laughter is bonding. Laughter is people. Laughter is love.
Thank you so much for spending
Again.
time with me, Trency. Even if
Of
the last time I
course.
saw
Thank
you,
you
I
too,
think was like
Kiss.
in Wild Poppy yata eh. Parang one of those random... Do you
Oh my God.
remember? I saw you in
nga.
Wild Poppy before.
I think for dinner.
Yeah,
Sobrang
so dinner.
random. Tapos,
Marami kang bit-bit nun eh.
ng mga lalaki. Joke. I wish.
Yes, I'm just gonna go say yes.
Yes, totoo yan. Maniwala kayo. Mga lalaki dala ko.
And I hope in 2021 na lalaki na nga talaga. Huwag naman more than one. Who needs more than one? One is enough
actually,
work.
one is enough work. Ayoko na madami. Pwede bang half na lang?
When I started writing this episode, what I actually wanted to focus on was whether or not Trency had struggles that were specific to her, that were unique to her as the funny girl or the funny person in the group. I wanted to know what dating was like for her, or how she is in social situations, whether things came up that happened to her specifically because she was always cracking jokes or was the one who made everybody laugh. But because we would get derailed so often because of all of the jokes that were coming from left field, I realized, we actually do all have our struggles, whether you're funny or you're not. Everybody gets gut punched by life. Nobody gets exempted, and nobody gets, special kinds of struggles depending on what kind of person you are. The difference is in how you react to that struggle. When you're down, do you stay down, or do you get back up and laugh in the face of adversity? Or if you're Trency, crump in the face of struggle. I just can't say the word crump without dancing. Like right now, I'm just crumping. It's really aggressive and quite freeing. You guys should try it out. This has been your Just Okay, and that's okay. Thank you so much for joining me on this first episode of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed the talk I had with Trency there, and it got a giggle or two from you. Don't forget to add me on Instagram, Your Just Okay Podcast. You can also email me at yourjustokaypodcast@gmail.com. Tell your friends, rate, subscribe. What else do you do? Share. It would be great if you could tell your friends and your loved ones all about this, and maybe they'll enjoy it too. Let me know, drop a line, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye.